It was a Wednesday afternoon in late November, the kind of day where the sky looked heavy and the wind kept rattling the trees outside. I had just sat down for my second lunch period when the intercom crackled on. At first, I thought it was the usual announcements, but the voice that came through was sharp and urgent. "Teachers, this is a lockdown. Repeat, this is a lockdown. Secure your classrooms immediately." The cafeteria froze. Everyone stared at each other, waiting for someone to laugh and say it was just a drill. But then the lunch monitor started rushing us, shouting for kids to stay down and move away from the windows. That's when the panic set in. Trays clattered to the floor, kids screamed, and the whole room turned into chaos. We were herded into the gym, which was the nearest large space. The lights were shut off, and the teachers made us sit on the cold floor in silence. The scariest part was the giant row of windows along one wall, showing the back parking lot. A couple of teachers yanked down the blinds, but not before some of us caught sight of flashing police lights just outside the school fence. My friend Jacob whispered that his older brother texted him. Apparently, someone had been spotted walking near the school carrying a rifle case. Nobody knew if it was real or not, but the cops weren't taking chances. The thought of some stranger armed outside our school made my stomach twist. We sat there for what felt like forever, barely daring to breathe. Every sound, the squeak of shoes, a nervous cough, seemed loud enough to give us away. Then, faintly, we heard it, a man's voice shouting from somewhere outside. At first it was muffled, then a loud crash echoed through the parking lot. Someone next to me started crying, and a teacher had to cover their mouth to keep the noise down. Minutes dragged by. The tension was unbearable. Then, just when I thought I couldn't take it anymore, the gym doors shook violently, like someone had pulled hard on the handle. Half the kids jumped up, but a teacher motioned furiously for us to stay still. The handle rattled again, then stopped. Finally, after what must have been over an hour, the intercom came back on. The principal's voice told us the police had apprehended a man outside the school grounds. He never got in, but apparently he had been circling the building for days, watching kids from the edge of the parking lot. When they let us out, I saw the rifle case sitting on the hood of a police car, surrounded by officers. Later, I found out the man had been a disgruntled ex-employee of the district, someone who swore he'd get revenge after being fired. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak of my house sounded like someone rattling a door handle, and I realized the scariest part wasn't that he had a weapon. It was knowing he had been watching us for weeks, just waiting for his moment.